Okay, so here is the Jenga blocks, and right now it just sits up over 2 foot, but you could flip the box over and set it up outside on the box, so it would be taller. And I did make some dice, so there's a few different ways you could do this. You could do it as classic Jenga, or you could do multiplication Jenga where you use both dice and you times it, and then you'd have to count down whichever block, say 3 times 4, and then you go ahead and count down, they have to pull that block. So there's different ways that you could play the game with using the dice. There are ways that you can do it with 4 dice. I did not make 4 dice, but so our daughter decided she wanted hers painted with 2 different colors. The other daughter wanted hers stained, so I stained hers. I really do like the color. She doesn't realize what it all looks like. We did make a carry-in case. Ed finished the case last night. I ended up having to paint it. And then I think we ended up having to do a little bit of sanding because I painted it and it made it a little bit tighter to put together. But we did make a carry box for it, and he took care of all that. But here is the finished product. I think it turned out really good. The husky's being shy over there. Nala! Hey, baby! What you doing? What you doing? Okay, so here is the finished. So one of 2 things I would say is when you get ready to do all your cutting, go ahead and do the biggest sand of the boards at the beginning. And then after you do the cuts, you could just hit all your edges and kind of take the splinters off. I did think that was faster. When I did Kelly's, I cut all the pieces, and they're 7.5 inches long, and so I had to sand every last one of them. Where this time, I literally just took the 8-foot board, sanded everything. I used an 80 grit, and then turned around and went to, I think, a 220 and then a 320. Some of them I just went from 80 to 320. It just depended on how bad the boards looked. And I will tell you, I did put a stop block on my chop saw, and I did mark a permanent marker on the chop saw. So if the stop block moved, I still had a visual line to tell me where to cut. And I did stop in between and of course measure here and there as I went anyway. But definitely sand all your bigger boards all at the same time. It's just easier when you have an 8-foot board to go ahead and to hold onto it and to sand it, and then go ahead and do the cuts and go ahead at that point, and then just do your edges if you have to, if you must. And you will have to, because most of the time you're going to get splinters. I will tell you, I think I did a video on this. The slower you go with the chop saw, the better the cut's going to be and the less splintering you're going to do. I can link that in the description below. But I think it turned out really well. We used a wood burning kit to make the dice. So for those of you, and I can put everything down below in description, that is a 2x3 that we made for the Jenga set. And then the dice is a 4x4. And I did a video on how I made the dice, because I did wood burn. You could paint the dice. I personally felt like this was easier, and it's not going to wear off if it's being played with outside. I made this for outdoors. I did not make this for being indoors. And that's only because when these big old blocks fall, especially if you have them stacked on top of the box, if you flip the box over, then it's definitely going to do some damage. But so everything is 7.5 inches as far as the Jenga game itself. And I did use outdoor paint to paint everything. And then that way it's mostly waterproof. I didn't use pressure treated. I just used regular boards. So everything is 7.5 inches. And then we purchased 2x3. So it turned out really nice. It's definitely more time consuming than I think everybody realizes it would be at the beginning. I probably wouldn't make these, I don't know, honestly, anything for less than $50. And I know I seen at Walmart you could buy one for, I think it was 35, but only because the wood cost wasn't bad. It was the time and effort into sanding and painting everything, because it just took a little bit of time, you know. So that's what, oh, somebody's here, I think. This is what the final product looks like. You can flip the box over, set everything up, which will make it taller. You can do a times multiplication game, or you could roll both dice and plus, you know, say if you get 3 plus 4, so it could be a math type of game as well. And or you could just not use the dice. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you guys like it. And I think the grandkids will love it. So, hey, have a great day, guys. I hope you like this. Hit like, hit subscribe, share with your friends. Help me grow my channel. But I appreciate everybody that watches this. Take care.